Okay, we are back with the final craft beer of this show, the Food and Beer Whisperers. I'm your host, of course, James Pirana Madonna of Mega Life 21. I do food. I am the Food Whisperer, as you see at the beginning of this program. And I am with the Tom Mulvihill, the Beer Whisperer, and this is the last craft beer that he will review for our show. And I believe it is the fourth. This is video number
4. Yes,
4. Counting my food video,
yep,
where I showed my James's Nano Garden, Nano Victory Garden. This is video number 4, like as in the 4 Horsemen. Okay, what do we have here, sir, in your nice attractive mug?
this is another one from Crabtree. This is called Eclipse Black IPA, Black India Pale Ale.
Wow.
And the particulars on this bad boy are 7.7%, 71.4 IBUs. It's an unfiltered Belgo Black IPA, and what that means is that it's brewed with a Belgian yeast strain. It gives a beer usually a different flavor. Belgian yeast has a different flavor. They're generally a little flowery, it imparts a little flowery essence to it. Their description says, well, if I could get to it here. I had it here and I lost it. Says it's an exquisite fusion of black roasted chocolate malts and a generous heap of hops, bitterly aggressive with fruity esters and a savory aroma, making this one superior brew. And like I said, I had it the other day too. A 7.7, I mean, it is a monster of a beer. And here's why I did this one last. Some might say, well, why did you do the stout last? Well, the reason is the big hops here. I didn't want my palate tainted. I wanted to, I didn't want those hops on my palate when I drank the oatmeal stout. I wanted to say the hoppy beer for last, which makes sense.
Well, it's definitely the most impressive craft beer formula. I was very impressed by what you just read before. I mean, a black IPA with all those.
Yeah, John Stardumsky pointed out that in the 90s they referred to them as India Dark Ales. Because how could something be pale and black? Well, he makes perfect sense. but the truth is that pale, when you use the term pale in ale, pale ale, or India pale ale, the pale did refer to the color, because many pale ales aren't very pale. Some have very nice color to them. Pale referred to the type of malts used, and that's why they were called pale ales. It was for the malt and not for the particular color of the beer. But he is right, though. This should be called an India Dark Ale. But the India, the black IPA is a style that's kind of going around right now. So,
well, would it be accurate to state that for the viewers out there that are new to craft beer tasting? Would it be accurate to state that out of all the ales of the world, that the India Pale Ale is the most fermented of the ales?
No, they're not necessarily the most fermented. They're generally the most hoppy. Fermentation is something different altogether.
Hoppy. In other words, there are extra hops.
There's more hops added to them, yeah.
Because hops is a natural preservative.
Hops is a natural preservative, yes. That's why it was added way back when, to make it last for those long voyages.
Right. And the hops adds the bitterness to the beer.
The hops adds the bitterness, yeah.
Okay. All right. Because
the nose, the aroma on this thing is just, holy cow, good. Wow, there's so much complexity. There's so many such intricacies going on here. And it just has that slight spiciness on the nose that's just wonderful. And I'm going to take a big drink and tell you about it here.
Wow, I'm happy that you're reviewing 3 fantastically enjoyable craft beers today.
I love this style. And there are 3 of this style that are standouts to me.
Okay.
One is from R.J. Rockers, and I actually reviewed on the very first show that you and I did together, the R.J. Rockers Black Pearl, Ales from the Dark Side. The second one is the Stone Sublimely Self-Righteous Ale, possibly the best named beer ever. And then this one, the Eclipse. There's a lot of them in the style. They don't quite measure up, but those 3 are just phenomenal. So if you've had some and you're not crazy about the style, try one of those 3. I don't know if I've met any serious beer lover that doesn't like the Stone Sublimely Self-Righteous, which is easier to get than the R.J. Rockers. But the R.J. Rockers, to me, is the very best. But this thing is just phenomenal. Wow, it is just that good. I mean, 7.7%, 75 IBUs. I mean, it is one monster, beautiful beer. And again, for me, it'd be a great fireplace beer. You know, I mean, it's the end of the evening. You turn up the fireplace. You know, you're just sitting around with the family. This is that kind of beer. It is just beautiful. I mean, it has everything you want. It has all the great flavors.
Or instead of turning up the fireplace, you have an old school fireplace where you put the dry wood and you start your fire and you have the snap, crackle, and pop and smell of a real fireplace.
Yeah, or even sitting out on your patio and lighting up your fire pit.
My brother,
this is the kind of beer that too good, that Bill. But this one, I love the hops in this. The bitterness is just fantastic because you've got those big roasted malt flavors coming at you, and then all of a sudden that bitterness comes in, and it just feels like it's the complete package. It's just one beautiful beer.
And I gotta love those names and fancy labels of craft beers. I get a kick out of them. Every one of them are great, and of course the quality of these craft beers are definitely improving as the years roll by.
They call this the Eclipse, and this is a great beer. These are the first 2 I've had from Crabtree Brewing, and I am seriously impressed. These 2 beers, the Oatmeal Stout and this Black IPA, the Eclipse, are just wonderful.
Could you please take the can and hold it very still in the middle of the screen so people can see this label the best they could? Eclipse, there you go. There's the Eclipse, and the bottom, raise it a little. There you go. There you go. Beautiful. Crabtree Brewery out of what town in Colorado?
Greeley, Colorado, it says.
Greeley, okay.
Yep, Greeley, Colorado. Brewed and canned by Crabtree Brewing Company, Greeley, Colorado. Yeah, I mean, oh, wow. This is a fantastic beer. If you do like the Black IPA or the India Dark Ale, whichever you want to call it, if you're a fan of the style, this should be a must on your list because it is beautiful.
I like all of the dark brews. The darker the better. I like any full-body, rich, robust, flavored beer. I want beer that grows hair on your chest. Unless you're a woman, you don't want that. Then they can grow hair somewhere else, you know, because they buzz it off nowadays anyway. Oh, man. So, you know, I'm really happy that you chose to review the beers that you have chosen. And this, of course, is the final one.
I was talking there, and I was trying to, and my phone kind of acted up and wouldn't answer. Live TV, here we go. I'm having the beer. Don't tell her I'm on the air.
Yeah, this is totally ad-libbed and unrehearsed. Everything that's happening is not planned. Oh boy, life is loaded with many interruptions.
Yeah, go ahead and get them, then we'll figure out what we're doing. Okay.
Maybe I'll take a little nap.
All right. Okay, I'm right here.
All right, he's back. Sorry,
I just figured you could talk for a couple minutes and fill in.
Well, yeah, I talked a little bit. I'm just so entertained by the clever names of these craft breweries and the fancy artistic labels, and of course the quality, which is getting better and better and better and better and better and better and better. Hey, yes.
I hate to keep repeating myself, but man, this is just a great beer. You know, if you do like IPAs, this is, and you're not sure about the black IPAs, this would be a great way to get your feet wet. It is just beautiful.
Well, people, don't be afraid to try the darker craft brews, your stouts, your black IPAs or dark IPAs, your dark and your porters. Don't be afraid to try all this dark, rich, full-bodied craft brews. They're out there. Just go to your most popular local liquor store and see what he's got. Give it a shot. You know. The hell with all that cheap crap that you see advertised on primetime TV. The bullshit so-called king of beers, Budweiser, and the Michelobs, and the Coors Lights, and the Millers. Forget about them. They're full of chemicals anyway. Go with the craft brew beers. You know, and all you college punks that go to your local bar, your local hangout, and order the Coronas, where they squeeze the lime wedge into the Corona, because it's it's in vogue. It's the hip thing to do, is to go around with your pinky up in the air saying, "Ugh, I drink Coronas. Look at me. Look at me. I'm a yuppie, or I'm a college kid," because all the other kids are drinking Corona. You know, it's just like when back in the 80s, all the men were wearing Drakkar cologne in the clubs. Everybody had a friggin' Drakkar, drowning, taking a bath in Drakkar. It was either Drakkar or Polo by Ralph Lauren.
I am proud to admit that I never used either.
Yeah, but just look at it, Tom. You're walking into a dance club. You're walking into a nightclub, and every dude smells like Drakkar or Polo.
Yep. Oh yeah, that was
Give me a break. And they had to drive the same cars back then, Tom. They had to drive the Pontiac Trans Am or the Chevy Camaro. The Guido cars. They had to drive the same thing. These are people that are followers, not leaders. We basically, in our organization, we do what we want, when we want, how we want, what time we want, any ways we want. We tell them.
I think people should spend less time trying to be cool and more time just doing the right thing. I think we'd be a much better society if we just worried about doing the right thing than trying to look cool.
You know what? You're right. Forget about organized religion or political parties or trying to be cool or worrying about your popularity rating. Just doing what you feel in your mind and in your heart is the right thing, the righteous thing. The right thing to do is the best way to live your life.
Yeah, you don't hate people because they're different. We're all in this together, man. Let's just do the right thing.
But ignorance and blatant stupidity is inexcusable. Insecure childishness. There's no reason for it. Life is really about common sense, which is the way you do your reviews, Tom. Common sense.
Well, thanks, James. I appreciate it.
And you make them understandable for the lay person. I don't mean the person who gets laid, the lay person, the greenhorn, the neophyte, your average Joe six-pack.
I'm married, so I don't get laid very often.
Your reviews are tailor-made for the masses. And,
I said that.
Get laid often. Well, you also mentioned, you also said the word complexity a few times. You said it in jest. Complexity sounds sophisticated, but it is what many of these craft beers are.
Yeah, they are very complex. There is a lot of intricacies. Another $5 word, intricacies.
Intricacies.
There's a lot of intricacies in these beers, and they're supposed to.
Intricacies. Fricasseed hog gels.
I mean, a beer like this is just phenomenal. And I tell you what, you buy this in a 4-pack of cans, and you're gonna taste something different every time you open one. That's how good this beer is.
4-pack. I hope the cans or bottles are larger in the 4-pack.
Yeah, they're 16-ounce cans or 16-ounce.
You mean similar to the big monsters that Foster's puts out?
Well, no, those are 24 ounces. But yeah, this is a 16-ounce can, so it's a full pint as opposed to a 12-ounce bottle.
Right. Okay. And before I forget, before we say bye-bye, I want to salute with my lucky Blackthorn Irish Shillelagh. I want to salute the coronation of my brand new Facebook group called The Truth Whisperers.
All right.
The Truth Whisperers, named after our show, using the word whispers because whispering is the complete opposite of what we really do.
Yeah, because, well, if you want to name it accurately, you should call it loud and uncensored.
Well, it is loud and uncensored. It's if you go to the Truth Whisperers, you people out there who are watching on Facebook and Google, if you go to Facebook and look for the Truth Whisperers with capital letters, the Truth Whisperers, not all caps, just the first letter, and you find it, which you will, click on the word about on top and read what the group is about before you decide to join. It is 100% total freedom of speech, period. You will not be booted out for yelling and swearing. You will not be censored. You might be the on the blunt end of the retaliation by the other person, the ramification of being that straightforward, shooting from the hip, blunt, and pulling no punches, and using some curse words. You're going to have to be able to take it as well as dish it out. But there's no censorship. There's no control. Bring it on. Let it all hang out. Just give it your best shot and just let it all hang out and enjoy the ride. And it's a multi-subject group. You can discuss anything that you feel is important to you. And you will read it when you click on About. That's all I got to say. But the only time I will give you heat, the only time I will give you trouble, members, is when you scream at somebody and curse them out and you attack them without any proof. If you lie, if you blatantly lie and make up stories just to become a flamer on the internet, just to get a little FaceTime and attention. If you're an attention whore and you don't tell the truth and you blatantly lie, you better back up your attacks with well-researched truth. Okay, otherwise, the other person might just make you look like a fool. But anyway, thank you for joining us for the Food and Beer Whispers, and of course the debut of my James's Nano Garden video, and the official introduction and coronation of
okay. Hey James, let me share something with you before I go off the air with you.
Of the Truth Whisperer. Yes, we want to see.
I don't know if you can see. I got too much glare. You can't see that.
Too much glare.
My wife texted me because I was talking about my wife. She says, if you're using my computer for a show, it better have press and seal.
You mean the keyboard condom?
Yeah, and I do have it on there.
The prophylactic of the keyboard. Keys
So,
are.
well, here I was trying to hide it and get done before she got home, and she already knew what I was doing.
Listen, for you jabronis out there that insist on eating and drinking while you're online, this will be excellent for you. Now, what is this made out of, this keyboard condom?
Well, it's just this Glade press and seal, or Glad press and seal.
Oh, how nice. Glad press and seal. Wow.
It's kind of got like a sticky side and a not sticky side. You just put it over there. And
Now, could that be used in giving oral sex to a woman that is not very sanitary?
I don't think so.
Trying to find the little man in the boat.
I don't think you're going to taste anything but plastic. But,
Otherwise known as Connie Lingus. Connie Lingus. We're not talking about Aer Lingus, the airline that goes to Ireland. We're not talking about Aer Lingus, or is Connie Lingus, who might be she might be a stewardess on Aer Lingus, a flight attendant, Connie Lingus.
I think that was an Armenian chick I knew way back when.
Connie Lingus, or Philip Latio, Mr. Phil Latio. It's better than Mr. Benjamin Dover, right? Ben Dover. But anyway, thank you for joining us. Tom, it's been a pleasure as always.
Thanks, James.
Take care. Bye-bye. See you on the all-new Truth Whispers.